Wow, stories.
My fiancé cheated and got someone else pregnant, but I exposed his crimes to the cops and watched him get arrested. My fiancé and I recently had a disagreement, which turned into a huge fight. We've been looking to move out of our tiny apartment and found this beautiful house. The first night we were in our new home, he stated that he didn't want some specific members of my family coming over. I was caught off guard and immediately got defensive, trying to explain what their intentions were in the situations that made my fiancé not like them. He got angry and stated that I never stand up for him, and he should be comfortable in his own house. I understand the comfort part, but I've always stood up for him. I've always talked to my mom or whoever else was in the wrong. I don't know how many hours I've spent talking about him to show my family how much he's changed. He used to be in a bad crowd and has a criminal history. That very much concerned my very religious family. Growing up, we always sat down and talked stuff out. It was only in a few cases where yelling was involved. So my way of defending my fiancé is by talking. There have been times that he won't say anything to explain how he felt hurt or disrespected until we had already left. In those cases, I would text whoever it was, explain the situation, explain how my fiancé left, and what we can do to fix it. My fiancé doesn't classify this as defending him. When he first told me I need to be better at it, I always kept an ear out to hear the conversations he was having with my family to see if I needed to step in. It's happened twice so far, and he's never said thank you or even acknowledged that I did. Fast forward to 3 days ago, he brings up the time he had a screaming match with his mom. He was defending me, and I'm grateful that he did. But it was different. His mother flat out threatened me. Not like a "I'll kick your butt" joke, but actually threatened my life, and they fought. My family, to be frank, is not crazy like his is. I'm not sure how to explain that different families have different ways of communicating. I have stood up for him, but he won't accept that it's in a different way. I grew up in the suburbs while he grew up on the streets, literally. I grew up being taught to watch for hurtful signs and taught that my family will always be there for me. And they have been, every step of my life. Growing up, I was told that until someone marries me, I need to stick with my family. When I do get married, that's when my spouse comes first. After we yelled back and forth about me only defending my family and never him, he stated, "I'm only nice to your family because of you. If it was up to me, these gloves would have come off a long time ago. We won't get married until you can defend me like it's your second instinct, and love is unconditional, but marriage does have conditions." I don't know what to do. I feel lost and torn with myself. Please don't think he's a bad person. He's absolutely amazing. This is just something that's sensitive, and we are trying to work it out. I came to Reddit to see if I do need to defend him the way he wants me to, or if he should change something on his side of it. Edit. Thank you to all of those who left comments. I'm trying to get back and answer all of them. All of you have helped me see many different sides to it, and I cannot be more thankful. I currently don't have an update, but my plan is to see if he will go to therapy either with or without me. If he refuses 3 different times, I will leave him. I obviously won't tell him that us breaking up will be the consequence, because the last thing I need is for him to do it, just so I stay. I will give you guys an update in 3 days and another one in 1 week. Again, thank you so much. Edit 2. I have answered a lot of questions in the comments. I'm trying to keep up, but it's difficult. Thank you for your patience. Update, we broke up. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. At first, I was on your fiancé's side because of my own personal baggage with my in-laws, and my husband and I needing to go to couples counseling for him to understand that I need him to stick up for me when certain family members of his are hostile. But after reading your whole post, I don't think that's what's going on. I think your fiancé isn't ready for marriage. He seems very sensitive to the point of being manipulative. Example, your family can't ask him clarifying questions. So what does that mean? Everyone just has to agree with him unquestioningly. Also, his refusal to go to counseling/therapy. and is waiting until you two have bought a house to announce his rule about who in your family can come over is immature and concerning. Comment 2. Your boyfriend has a history of criminal activity that would give any family pause for concern. And that's something he will always face and always need to deal with. But he needs to accept that. Is he making an effort to show them he can change? If you have spoken to your family about their concerns and they continue to treat him poorly despite his efforts, then he has a right not to want them in his home. On the other hand, his comments about how he's only nice to them because of you and taking the gloves off are concerning. He seems to be using marriage as leverage, saying if you don't comply with his desire to minimize or cut contact with your family, he won't marry you is a huge red flag. Now, for the update, thank you for sticking around for this update. So, we broke up. It's been, well, I'll just get into it month, and things have taken turns I never saw coming. After our last fight, things got worse. My fiancé started acting strange, more distant than usual. I tried to talk to him, but he just shut down. Then, out of nowhere, he tells me he's been seeing someone else. Yeah, you heard that, right? He was cheating on me. I was devastated. I mean, I spent years building a life with this guy, defending him to my family, and this is how he repays me? It felt like a slap in the face. But that wasn't the end of it. The other woman, she's pregnant, and he's the father. He wants to be with her to raise their child together. I couldn't believe it. My whole world just crumbled. I moved out of the house we had just moved into. It was too painful to stay there, too many memories. I went back to my parents' place, the very family he didn't want around. They welcomed me with open arms, no, I told you so. Just love and support. It was a comfort, but I was still seething inside. I needed to do something to get back at him for all the lies and betrayal. So, I took action. I knew he had a criminal history, and I knew he hadn't been entirely clean since we got together. I tipped off the police about some of his less than legal activities. It wasn't long before they caught him in the act. He was arrested, and with his record, he's looking at serious time. The other woman, she came to me crying, saying she didn't know about me, that he told her we were over. I didn't know what to feel about her, but I did feel sorry for the kid that's going to grow up in this mess. I told her everything about his past, his arrest, everything. She was shocked, said she had no idea. I don't know if she'll stick by him, but that's her choice. Now I'm just trying to pick up the pieces of my life. I'm focusing on myself, my job, my family. It's hard, but I'm getting there. I've learned a lot about who I can trust and what I'm worth. I won't be walked over again.